So for this limited colour palette portrait, I'm going to paint a portrait of a young lady. Before we get started, let's look at our materials. So I have my palette laid out here, and we of course have our four Zorn palette colours. We've got titanium white, yellow, ochre, cadmium red, and of course he would have used vermilion red, but this is the closest modern day equivalent. And then over here we have ivory black. Now I isolate my ivory black to the right hand side, because if any of this accidentally gets in with my other colours, it can make everything a little bit muddy and a bit grey. So it's always nice to slightly divide, particularly your lightest tone and your darkest tone. So in this case, titanium white and the black. I have a little bit of linseed oil as well, which I might use just to thin some of the paints as we go along. The other materials are paint brushes, so I use the Roseberry & Co. Hog Bristle. I love using Hog for oil painting. It's a lovely bristly brush, applies the paint very nicely. I will use a softer sable brush as well to slightly blend some of the brush strokes a little later. And I prefer the filbert shaped bristles, but any shaped brush is perfectly fine. A range of sizes going from 2 all the way to 16. Other Studio Sundries have some paint thinner, some low odor turpentine just to keep the paint nice and thin and to clean the brushes of course, and some wipes and rags to keep myself clean, and a mirror to help me look at the picture more objectively. The surface I'm working from is a stretched canvas, size 50 by 40 centimetres. It's a stretched cotton canvas and it's been primed a couple of times with acrylic gesso. Let's look at the image. This is a beautiful photograph of a young lady. It's a very artistic shot. I'm just going to paint the head and shoulders. I probably won't paint the hands, but by all means you can give this a go at home. What's really important to mention is the light. Now we've got one strong light source. It's a relatively cool light source coming from the top left-hand side, casting a range of beautiful shadows under the eyes, nose and mouth, and a lovely range of warm mid-tones that are across the centre of the face. So there's a lot of information there to allow me to construct the face to hopefully get something that's three-dimensional. So that's all our stuff ready. Let's get started.